You ready for the radio interview?
Yes, whenever we are. Yeah.
We'll come back this week. I appreciate you. Somebody open it I don't get two in one day. We played a few of the records.
Oh, well, okay.
I started. I'll take yours.
All right, you got it. All right.
I know you're pulled all over the place. You know, I've been hearing music all these years.
Sherry baby, Sherry, can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight.
Well, I guess both WFLI, the Big Jet Fly. Gene Lovin in for Lunch with Logan. It's Lunch with Lovin. Tonight at the Tivoli Theater, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons will be performing all their great hits, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment. It is such a pleasure and such an honor to have the man himself, Frankie Valli, here in the control with me. And we've been talking off the air, Frankie, and you are such a wonderful man and such a gift to music and to the industry. How many generations have grown up with Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons? So many.
I'm going to see that show tonight.
Are you? Well, I mean, we were talking, from Sherry. What a recognizable song, from the hand claps and the foot stomps, and the fact that a lot of people did think it was an overnight success, but it took months.
Yeah. Well, all successes seem like they're an overnight success because you don't know about the success until it happens.
Exactly, yeah.
So the work that's involved, I can tell you that we went around trying to sell the idea of Jersey Boys as a play for 10 years before
Wow, I did not know
anybody
that.
became interested. So
Yeah,
it's a part of what it's all about.
yeah. And I guess you get back as much as you give in, because, performing night after night, city after city. We were talking about, of course, Sherry, Big Girls Don't Cry, Don't Go Away, Let's Hang On, Ragdoll, not to mention your solo stuff, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, Swearing to God, Grease, even a kind of regrouping of the Four Seasons, Who Loves You, Baby. What a tremendous career. Did you ever have any idea that it would be what it turned out to be?
Well, it started out as all I was interested in was in having a hit record.
Okay.
The rest of that was keep your fingers crossed and see how you do it. Hope that the people that were listening to radio liked the music that you were doing. that was really the main thrust of what recording was all about.
Yeah, what
We
a time.
recorded songs that we liked. We weren't listening to what anybody else was doing. Although we were listening to everybody else, we were not copycats.
Well, you guys even survived the British invasion, you know, which unfortunately knocked off of a lot of American singers that were having somewhat of a success, but the Four Seasons were still having that success. And, you know, it's got to be a tremendous feeling to think that generation after generation after generation loves your music.
Well, it's a big world.
It is.
and there's room for a lot of people to have success, and that's the beauty of what this business is all about.
Yeah, you know.
And it's challenging, and you know, sometimes if you're not really on fire, the fact that somebody else could be having a great success at the same time that you're a little quiet. People going into record stores to buy their record, and they would look around and they'd buy your record too. So success helps everybody.
Yeah, I can remember being in New York and walking down, and I can't remember, you know, I'm sure I was there to see the Brill Building because it was infamous as far as songwriting and the music that came out of the Brill Building. But the record stores, they'd have these speakers out in the, you know, the sidewalk area, and they would be playing the hits. I don't know how many times that I heard Sherry, and then a few years later it was, you know, Big Girls Don't Cry or Ragdoll. You know, your music was so acceptable, you know, whether it was in the north, the south, the east, the west. This is such a loaded question. I didn't make a list. I thought about asking a listener, what would you ask Frankie Valli? So I'm going to, as a listener, do you have a favorite?
It's like having all these hit records and they were your children.
Yes.
You have a favorite.
Okay, exactly. So Jersey Boys, you worked on it for 10 years. A successful movie, a successful play. You know, it depicts also the time that you were leaving the group, I guess, to become a solo artist.
Well, I never really left the group.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a part of the original plan that we'd put a record out by the group and then we'd put one out by me. And as a soloist.
Yeah.
The group was so hot that it just seemed as though it was never going to happen that they would do some records with me until 1967.
Yeah.
And the success started as a group in 62. So from 62 to 67, I waited that long to do Can't Take My Eyes Off You.
Yeah. What a great song. Did you have a lot of, you know, say-so in the songs that you were, you know, that you guys were presented to? And I can't pronounce the names of the guys, Bob,
Nick, and Tom.
Yeah, okay. You know, there were such great songwriters that was providing material for you guys.
Well, it was really Bob Gaudio and Bob Crew.
Yeah, right.
And occasionally when they ran dry, it might be Cole Porter. I've got you under my skin.
Exactly,
So,
yes.
And there was Larry Brown, and there was Sandy Linzer and Benny Randall, and a whole slew of writers.
Well, you mentioned Bob Crew. What a, you know, I'm not familiar with Bob Crew other than his producing. He had a Bob Crew generation hit out, Music to Watch Girls By. But what a producer. This guy really
He
knew
also
his
did
stuff.
Mitch Ryder.
Yeah, I was talking with Mitch earlier. And,
Yeah.
And that's got to be, you know, tremendous. The producer is so important, I guess. And your music recorded in New York?
You can't have a hit unless you have a hit song.
Yeah, well,
So it really, it breaks all down to the writer. And then, you know, there are some songs that should be hits that fall through the cracks and they never really get a chance to.
yeah.
How do you have a hit? somebody has to play it
Yes.
over and over again, and
Well-
people have to like it. But if it's never heard, how would you know whether it would be a hit or not?
Exactly.
I think some of the best stuff we've recorded that's in albums is as good as some of the hits that we've had over
Right.
the years.
Right. Yeah, I've always wondered, you know, a songwriter, you know, writes a hit and it's for the Four Seasons. So it's such a major hit. What if someone else had recorded that? Would it have been a hit for them like it was for the Four Seasons?
I think the treatment of what you're doing to a song, the arrangement is important, and what you're doing to the vocal, and does it fit the artist that's doing it.
Yeah.
There are a lot like that fall through the cracks. Like
Yeah.
I can remember I was with Private Stock Records, and I brought a song to them that I wanted to record called "Here You Come Again." You've heard that song.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dolly Parton
Dolly,
had a big
yes.
hit with that. And Larry Utah said no. He says I don't like that song.
There you go.
Another song that was I can't think of the writer. I'd Rather Leave While I'm in Love is a song.
Mhm.
Rita Coolidge had a hit with that. I brought that to a record company, and they
Yeah.
said no, I don't. You know, you have to feel the marriage between the artist and the song is as important as anything.
And I would think that, you know, you're telling a story with that song in words. You have to embrace it.
Well, I think that before you sing a song, you should know what the song is saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the melody. It's the content of what is in that lyric. And you have to try your very best to make it as though it's your concept.
Well, and you have done that. I mean, you know, you mentioned Private Stock. You had My Eyes Adored You on Private Stock Records, and what a great song. And I know we're running a little long, and I do appreciate your time, Frankie, very, very much. I can call you Frankie, I hope.
Oh, sure.
I've been referring to you as Mr. Valli. So
Unless you want to call me Jimmy or
no. What can we expect tonight? I know all the hits, you know.
You'll have to come by and see.
Yeah, that's right. Sold out show. It's going to be fabulous. And again, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons at the Tivoli Theater. Showtime is 8 o'clock tonight. And my family, we bought our tickets for Christmas presents. We ordered them when they
good.
first went on sale.
Good.
So we're going to be there, you know.
Well, we're going to be happy to be there and
Yes.
do our very best to make everybody happy.
You're a wonderful, wonderful man, Frankie Valli. And I do sincerely, and I know you've done so many interviews, but this is such a thrill for me to sit in the same room with you because I've played your music for so many years on the radio. And here's
This is a thrill
Frankie
for
Valli.
me to be here at a radio station in one of your studios here, and I'm looking at this equipment,
Yes.
and it's bringing back all kinds of great memories.
Well, you know, without the Four Seasons and radio, where would any of us have been? I mean, you know.
Well, if you think about it for a minute, it went from recording direct to disc as to how this all started. Then it was one track, then it was two tracks, then it went 4 tracks, then it went 8 tracks, and today it's digital.
Yeah.
And you have as many tracks as you want, so you can overdub for the rest of your life on one track.
Again, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
And
There's
thanks
been-
for playing our records through all
Oh,
the
I'm
years.
looking forward. We're going to play Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons all afternoon. And of course, you know, those that have their tickets, they'll be able to see you live in concert tonight at the Tivoli Theater. Again, thank you very much.
Thank
Frankie
you.
Valli. You're a wonderful, wonderful man. How about a hand for Frankie Valli of the Four Seasons? Gosh. Oh my goodness, what can I say? Thank you very much. We're going to get back to the music on WFLI.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Just too good to be